Brian Gallagher back here again from Meg Business Management, Meg Academy, and thank you so much for giving of your time to our YouTube channel. I hope I can give you some personal growth ideas and tips for professional success because I want to do my part in helping you live the life of a practice owner that you deserve for yourself and advance the profession of physical therapy. So let's get into it. This is part 5 of our pre-startup private practice series. It's pretty much the full title. If you've seen the other 4 episodes I've put into this, it's all about what to do leading up to the doors opening. So today's episode is about doors are opening, right? You're launching that private practice. You've been a staff therapist for a long time. You finally made the plunge. You've committed that $35,000 to $100,000. You've committed the time, energy, and effort in doing all the research, all the planning, all the credentialing. You've loaded up things and you're ready to roll. So my first tip for professional success when starting your very first private practice is to ask you the question of who do you open this practice with? Is it just you? Do you do partners? Is it you and your spouse? Is it you and a staff member? Now, 9 out of 10 times, the most successful arrangement when opening a startup physical therapy private practice is literally going to be you as the owner. You're wearing several hats. You're the owner, clinical director, and full-time staff therapist. Okay, that's you. And a front desk coordinator who can be developed potentially into office manager, and they're going to be your tech because you're going to need help. You're going to need help because it's going to be the two of you rocking and rolling to race as fast as you can to 45 to 50 visits a week. Okay. When you get to 45 to 50 visits a week with under the national average of about $83 a visit, depending on where you are in that scale, that's about break even for you in this private practice. Now, when you open the doors, you're going to have some money in the bank account from your startup loan or from your initial capital investment, and that's called your burn rate when you open up. How much money is going out in payroll, how much is going out in rent, bills, overhead, expenses, blah, blah, blah. Well, you better know based on your performa what your burn rate's going to be in the first 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Because if you don't have adequate cash to float you while you're launching, then you're going to need a part-time job, which is totally fine, nothing wrong with that. You can do some home health or you can do some part-time work in a nursing home or in another outpatient clinic. You're a skilled therapist. You can do this. The very first year to second year in private practice is probably going to be your most, ambidextrous kind of environment for you where you're wearing multiple hats and you're working some weird hours at times, okay? But I'm going to coach you to try and keep it all in check so that if everything's structured right, everything in this lane, it's going to totally make sense. But depending on how you're capitalized and depending on what your burn rate is, you just need to be a little nimble as to what you have to do to make it go right. But back to my initial setup. You and a front desk coordinator who hopefully can be invested in becoming an office manager. Now, when you open your practice, I'm strongly encouraging going into this. You've already purchased an LMS system, whether it's Meg Academy or something like that you can go on, virtual training, quizzes, assignments, role play, all the handout materials you need so that you're training and putting your CEO hat on your head and this front desk coordinator is being professionally trained by somebody who knows what it takes to, and it's consistent and she has that content or he has that content to go over it multiple times for certainty. Okay. Learning is one thing, which is bright ideas and good enlightenment. Skill development is training. So you have the responsibility as the CEO of this practice to have a system of onboarding for your new staff and training of your people so that even though you're only open 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you know your personnel files are done properly. You know your patient compliance is in. You know your staff compliance is in check. You have the 6 audits that are required by law. You have the educational logs that are required by law. You know all of these things rolling into it. And you're not like going to be wearing orange and black 12 months later because the OIG showed up at your door. We don't want that. We want to open up with the best structure, the best systems, and most importantly, sufficient compliance, okay? Compliance has to be customized to you. So I'm a big compliance advocate to make sure that we do it. And then look, if you invest in it in the beginning and you have it in, that's all you know, that's how you run their business the rest of your life. So there's your 2 people and you have your educational system. 2 tips for professional success. Always open up with you and a front desk coordinator and always get started into practice with an ongoing onboarding professional enhancement Learning Management System, LMS. 2 very vital actions for your success, which has led to the success of so many of our startups. And I just want to pass that on to you. Number 3, let's make sure that in your first 6 months of private practice, while you're opening up that practice, you have a CEO schedule. You have to commit to a CEO schedule. Blocks of time that you're actually treating patients. Blocks of time that you're actually working on the admin of the practice. And blocks of time that you're doing your own professional enhancement, whatever that may be. Now, I've been doing this 29 years. I literally have blocks of time in my schedule in my work week where I'm actually studying Spanish, or I'm studying my flight modules. I've got a whole flight simulator right to my right here, and I'm trying to become a pilot, right? So these are my professional enhancements. I have blocks of time that I'm listening to podcasts, doing audiobooks or webinars or Zoomcasts, whatever it is, to professionally enhance my skill set as a PT private practice owner, coach, as a CEO coach, because I want to be the best I can for you. So I have to have that dedication and that devotion of time to my own professional enhancement. I mean, let's face it, everybody. Why would you want to get out of bed each and every day if you don't want to have a better day today than you did yesterday? If you don't want to be a smarter person today than you were yesterday? You know, I'm constantly refining that. My thing is I'm very passionate and very enthusiastic about everything I do. So sometimes I get little emotional reactions to things and I got to like, whoo, step down off that. Don't need to go there. That's not going to be healthy for me, right? Let's just stay motivated and surround myself by the best and brightest, and then I got nothing to worry about. Same with you. When you feel like you're tiptoeing on eggshells around your first few hires, and you don't want to say this to Sally, or you don't want to say that to John, that they're not going to like this, they're not going to like that. Number 1, you got to get coached on how to confront your staff, because this is your show, not their show. Say what needs to be said in manners, in a clear, concise, and disciplinary way for yourself, such that you're bringing about understanding first and agreement second. So that's my personal growth idea for this episode of our YouTube channel for today. Definitely play that back. You should definitely know that. Very, very important, especially as a young therapist in private practice. And last but not least, understand that when people come to get work for you, and they're hired to work for you, that they've agreed to participate in your show. They've agreed to row to the tempo that you've set. Don't let people come in and then, they're all fine and good for the first 30, 60 days. But then, lo and behold, after that, it gets awful. It's not looking nice. They start calling the shots. They start digging their heels in. Let me tell you, you're going to do yourself a favor by confronting that situation, letting them go work somewhere else where they're winning, so you can attract somebody else who's going to want to play in your playground, play in your sandbox, and forward and advance your cause. I'm going to leave you there. I know this is like new information. I hope it fits in with your mindset. My most important message here is if you have the right person, you have the right structure, you put them through the right training, you should get the right results. But I needed to tell you, if you don't, and you're tiptoeing around somebody feeling like you're walking on eggshells, you have the wrong person. You absolutely have the wrong person. You need to let that person go. Let them go win somewhere else. You're doing them a favor. Let them win somewhere else. Bring somebody else in who can push wind into the sails of your success. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. That's our 5-part series on some really key personal growth ideas and tips for professional success that will lead you to a greater ease of success when opening your first private practice. All right. Thank you for listening. Please click the like button. The best thing you could do if you like this content, so I can make more of it and help you succeed in private practice. Enjoy, everybody. Wake up every day expecting to do well.